डीएवी इंटर कॉलेज के कक्षा 12 के छात्रों को मेरा प्यार भरा नमस्कार। बच्चों, कक्षा क्रम के इस सीरियल में मैं आप लोगों को प्रोज से पहला पाठ अ गर्ल विथ ए बास्केट को पढ़ाने जा रहा हूँ। आई हैड लेफ्ट न्यू दिल्ली फॉर द हिमालयाज। I was going as far as Bareilly by train and then by car to Ranikhet, an old British Army hill station located on a 6,000-foot ridge opposite 120-mile stretch of snow-capped Himalayas. The train was slow and it stopped at all the way stations. At every stop, I swung open the door of my compartment and walked the platform. The simple explanation of this passage is that writer who was explorer, wanderer, lover of journey, he came in India in 1950. He started his journey from New Delhi to Ranikhet. Ranikhet was an old British Army hill station located on 6,000-foot ridge opposite 120-mile stretch of snow-capped Himalayas. Now he is describing about his train in which he was suffering. The train was a slow moving train. It was a passenger train. He stopped at all the way stations, and when the train stopped, he got down at the platform, started walking and talking to the passengers moving on the platform. Second paragraph. The platforms were packed with people: Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, soldiers, merchants, priests, porters, beggars, hawkers. Almost everyone was barefoot and dressed in loose white garments. I would ask at least three people before I could find one who spoke English. I would talk world affairs and every major topic, the news of the day, produced. In this way, I was trying to get a feel of the pulse of the nation, checking opinion against official attitudes and reports. In second paragraph, writer describes about the people walking on platforms. They were Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, soldiers, merchants, priests, porters, beggars, hawkers, etc. A variety of people. And almost everyone was without slipper, without shoes, and dressed in loose white garments, which is called dhoti and kurta. The writer have to talk with three peoples to talk in his language, and he was trying to talk about world affairs, major topics of the words, and in this way he was trying to know the mentality and mental attitude of Indians. ये आपका दूसरा पैराग्राफ खत्म हुआ। तीसरा पैराग्राफ है, द रूट ले थ्रू वन ऑफ द रिचेस्ट ऑफ इंडियाज एग्रीकल्चरल एरिया. दिस वॉज द प्लेन ऑफ अपर गंगा रिवर, 1,000 feet above sea level, but tropical. The Ganga was brown silt swollen with flood waters, its overflow inundating thousands of acres of rice. To the north were jungles, great expanses of grass higher than a man's head and unbroken except for an occasional clump of trees, the home of tigers, elephants, pythons, and cobras. Everywhere else, there was flat land running to the horizon, but dotted here and there by the sacred banyan tree, off by rows of pakar trees, shaped like elms and having thick twisted trunks. Hot, humid air was moving in form uh, the southwest. Monkeys, some of them mothers with babies clinging to them and riding underneath, swung off trees at the stations looking for food. The villages we passed had walls made of mud mixed with water and cow dung. Their peaked roofs were thatched, bundles of grass tied to bamboo poles stretched across the rafters. That day, the pumpkin vines that grew over them were in bloom, trailing streaks of yellow over drab walls. In next paragraph, he is describing about the geographical location of the area. He says that it is the most fertile belt of India, Upper Ganga uh, plain called Upper Ganga plain, and he is describing about that jungles are there, jungles full of grasses. Here and there you can find fakar and people trees where a large number of plenty of tigers, elephant, pythons, cobras are living. And now he is describing about the climatic situation. The humid wind is blowing. Now he says that monkeys are also there at the platforms. They are uh, there are mother monkeys. They are clinging with their babies. They are they are trying to get something, some food material from passengers of the train. And at last he is describing about the position of the villages. He saw the villages were there, the huts were there, made of mud mixed with water and cow dung, and kind of roof thatched, bundle of grass tied to bamboo poles stretched across the rafters, and pumpkin vines were there just by the side of huts, and they were looking just like trailing sticks uh, on the drap walls. So this is the explanation of that. Okay, thank you. My dear disciples of class 12th DAV Inter College Orei, a very fine and fragrant morning to all of you. Dear students, yesterday I started the lesson A Girl with a Basket by William C. Douglas. We have finished the first two paragraphs. Today we have to start your third paragraph, and just at one station my routine of talking with the people was interrupted. Interrupted means disturbed, stopped. A writer says that his routine was interrupted, his routine was stopped, disturbed. What was his routine? His routine was, usual routine was to get down on the platform and talk to the people. It was his routine. But at one station, this routine was stopped. As soon as I alighted means got down, a group of young children gathered around me. A writer says that when he got down on the platform, a large number of children surrounded him. He became a prisoner. They were selling baskets, hand woven reed baskets with simple designs and patterns. A writer says that these children were vendors, sellers. They were selling baskets, handmade baskets with simple design and patterns. They held the basket high, shouting words I did not know, but conveying unmistakably their desire. Writer says that they carried their baskets and fans in their hand high, and they were shouting टोकरी ले लो पंखा ले लो. In this way he was unable to know the language because he was English speaking person, but the expression was very much clear to him. These were refugee children. When partition between India and Pakistan was decreed, writer now introduces these children. Who were these children? These children were refugees. Refugees means when India and Pakistan was divided into two countries, a large number of people from Pakistan came to India for shelter. So they were called refugees. Hundreds of thousands of people pulled up their roots and changed their residences. Writer says that A large number of hundreds of thousands of people left their homes, houses, residences, and came to India. 9 million people left Pakistan and came to India. 9 million. 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. 9 million is equal to 90 lakhs. So nearly 1 crore people came to India for shelter. Driven by the fear of religious fanaticism. What was the reason? The reason was religious fanaticism. Religious fanaticism means fear of religious conversion. Except Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Christians came to India because they had fear in their mind to convert their religion. They were poor people to start with. They were poorer as they begin their long trek. Writer says that they were very poor. They were very poor people, but when they started their journey, they became poorer. For all they could carry was a bit of food and few belongings. Soon they were out of food. These people started their journey. They had nothing to have with them, only some food materials, but very soon they became out of food. A few days after they started, they began to fall by the wayside from the weakness of hunger and died where they fell. Writer says that they started dying. Why? Because they had no food. They were overtired or after their overworking. So they started dying near the roads. The children selling baskets were sons and daughters of these refugees. The children who were selling baskets and hand fans on the platforms were sons and daughters of these refugees. They are their parents or relatives had gathered in the cities, setting up stalls, manufacturing simple articles, trying to make a living in markets already overcrowded. Writer says that their parents, their fathers and mothers came to India. They started their journey with train by train, and they just reached to various parts of the country. They stayed near the platforms, near the stations, and they manufactured, they made tents made of cloths and grass sets, and they started living there. The peasants among these refugees had been accustomed to little all their lives, for the annual income of an agricultural family does not on the average exceed $100 a year. Writer says that uh, among these the peasants were there, the farmers were there, their average income was very low, nearly $100 a year. The average unskilled laborer makes 30 cents a day or less than $2 a week. He says that 30 cents. Unskilled laborers means the laborers one who works with the help of hands and heads. They uh, just earns 30 cents a day, which was less than $2 a week. There is one meal a day: an onion, a piece of bread, a bowl of pulses with milk, perhaps a bit of goat cheese, not tea, no coffee, no fat, no sweets, no meat. $100 a year is not $2 a week. He is describing about the situation of those people. Their food was very poor. What was the meal? The meal of the day was an onion, a piece of bread, a bowl of pulse with milk, perhaps a bit of goat cheese, no tea, no coffee, no fat, no sweet, no meat, etc. And their income was $100 a year, is not $2 a week. Yet even that small amount is hard to earn by selling baskets to people too poor to buy them. That no doubt is the reason these little children descended on me like locusts. An American was doubtless the most promising market they had seen. Writer says that he was a foreigner. He was a good customer for them. That was the reason they descended upon him like locusts. They all wanted to sell their items very much from him. This was the reason why they were just all around him. So this is the explanation of that paragraph. I shall continue tomorrow. Thank you.